Some of the growth in China is certainly legitimate because they're spending a lot of money.
The commodity market got a bit worried after a dream run because of the Chinese market correction. Do you see commodities, or the hard commodities like copper, etc., extending their gains even from here, or do you think it's time for a pause there?
Well, some commodities obviously will have to pause. Others will continue the rise, but nothing goes straight up every day, every week, every month. All markets, as you well know, better than most, do have corrections along the way. Some are overdue. But remember, as far as I can see, the only sector of the world economy where the fundamentals are improving are commodities. Many farmers cannot get loans for fertilizer, even though agricultural inventories are the lowest in decades. Nobody can get a loan to open a mine. It takes 10 years to open a mine, so mine reserves continue to decline. So the fundamentals for commodities continue to improve, and that's the best place to invest.
What about something like sugar, which has become the talking point across global markets, hitting a 28-year high? Do you see those gains being extended, looking at the demand-supply situation in sugar?
Well, I certainly do. I mean, sugar, even though it's at a 28-year high, as you probably know, it's down 70% from its all-time high. So sugar is still very, very depressed on any kind of historic basis, and I suspect it will go higher. The last time we had a bull market in sugar in the 70s, if you remember, there was no biofuel. Well, that's a huge new element of demand now, and most of Asia was not involved in the sugar market in any big way back in the 70s. But now Asia is prospering, and there are 3 billion people trying to have a better life, and most people, when they get more prosperous, use more sweets. So you have big elements of demand in sugar now that you did not have in the last bull market. I wouldn't sell sugar. I mean, I don't know if it's going to go up the next week or the next month, but I'm certainly expecting sugar to go much higher during the course of the bull market over the next several years.
In any case, many agro-commodity prices are going up in India because of a bad monsoon this time around. Jim, what's your perspective of the softer commodities? Do you think they could be headed significantly higher, the agri-commodities, over the course of the next 1 year?
Well, I'm not a weatherman, so I can't answer the weather parts of it. But as I said, food inventories are the lowest they have been in decades. Not lowest in months or the lowest in years, in decades. There's a very good chance that we're going to see very serious explosions in the price of food, because we may have no food at any price if we continue to have weather problems. Yes, you're having some monsoon problems in India, but remember that the rest of the world still hasn't had bad weather. If we start having serious weather problems around the world, as we've had many times in history, the price of food is going to skyrocket because there are no inventories and there's no productive capacity.
Just one quick word on real estate. Have you seen a significant improvement in sentiment towards real estate in the entire region? And would you be a buyer of real estate once again after the dip it saw 6-9 months back?
Well, you're certainly seeing prices go up. I'm told prices in China are back to where they were before the big drop. I certainly see prices or more transactions here in Singapore and other parts of Asia. I'm not jumping in. I would not be buying, unless it's specialized real estate, if it's in the right location, or if it's farm real estate, something to do with farming or mining. Sure, or in a mining area, you'll make a lot of money. But when interest rates go higher again, which they will have to in the next year or 2 or 3, property is going to suffer once again because there's still massive speculation in most property markets.
Thanks, Jim, for your perspective. Appreciate you joining in, as always. That's Jim Rogers with his perspective on global markets, commodities.